studio of Amsterdam. Thank you all for joining. So today's gonna be a different show. Different show. Always when you see me behind the setup, you know that either Miss Alba's not here or I just took over. And today it's both. I took over and Mr. Alba is not here. So what do we have on the schedule for today? Well, so today it's already 7:30 in Amsterdam. We having an interview with our returning guest, brother Palgrave. We'll be talking about the youth. So last week on the show, as we were discussing our news flash, we touched on the topic of the Fix the Country, which is a media campaign going on in Ghana right now. And we noticed that that was a very, very sensitive topic since we were engaging with some live audience on our YouTube, which was great. However, it erupted some emotions, so we decided to carry that conversation on for the remainder of the month and also for next June. So next month, that's June. With that being said, hence every week we'll try to reflect on the progression of this discussion, which is still ongoing in Ghana. And today we have our brother Palgrave, who hopefully will touch on the topics and the issues from the youth perspective and also from the leadership perspective. And yeah, I don't really think we will have time for some news flash because it is going to be a very, very engaging conversation. I'm looking forward to it. Sit tight. I will give you some music. We're going to play lots of music as well. So if you like music, definitely stay tuned. Please share our link. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, share our link, Instagram, whatever that is. And then yeah, let's have fun together.
Time flies like a thief in the night. We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride. Before the train is gone, let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. Don't make them tell you lie. I'm on your side. I said the taxi chaka to my raka to the villa. We gon' get high tonight, baby. We say pass the dirty on the left hand side, yeah. Oh yeah. Muda una yo ma, so you never know what tomorrow holds. Siku zazidi kwenda, so don't hold back. Do what you gotta do. Take some love and give it back. Make your money, get that back. I don't know what you're going through, yeah. This is your invitation to dance. Salty soul burner boy came through with another one, yeah. So come on and give love a chance, yeah. Cause you know the party just begun, yeah. And we're not getting younger, no. Time flies like a thief in the night. We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride. Before the train is gone, let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. Don't make them tell you lie. I'm on your side.
Doctor, enter boss, in the good church, the enter boss. Doctor, the enter boss, and no get money, ìyẹ́ntàbọ̀ kọ̀dọ̀tọ̀ so wọ́n papọ̀ bóyá kọ̀dọ̀tọ̀ so wọ́n papọ̀ dọ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀ntàbọ̀ so they go church ìyẹ́ntàbọ̀.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
You light up my life, I cannot deny. Senya wotome, my bravo no ya pokokra. I made up my mind about every time. Because I would makes life easy. You said someone to comfort me. The way you love me, I'm now complete. Oh, what joyous struggle. You said someone to comfort me. The way you love me, I'm now complete. Oh, what joyous struggle. And I can do a minute without you. And I can do a minute without you. Can do a minute without you. Hey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. William Martinina. William Martinina. William Martinina. Oh yeah. William Martinina.
Although I no benya, I can't deny it. I can't describe the feeling. Way on the path, way on the kind. I'll be back. This love is the light, oh hey. Although I no benya, miss I can feel, miss I can feel, miss I can feel. Although I no benya. This love is the light, oh hey, long what it
Can do a minute without you. And I can do a minute without you. Can do a minute without you. Hey. Oh yeah. William Martinina. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I want to my hey. Come on everybody sing. You're my everything. Oh. You're my
Can't take the feel. Look to the left, look to the right.
I be the one, make I come to you tonight. Show you the one to company, yeah, yeah. I picture the things I go do to you tonight. You for sure they run for me, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, girl, back up. No more trouble, Joe. Now if you say you want me, you're the man you do not see. Oh, baby, girl, back up. No more trouble, Joe. Now if you say you want me, you're the man you do not see. Oh, you. I don't even do nothing to you. So I wanna leave, oh baby, go back up. No more trouble, Joe. Now if you say you want my shawty, my love, my solo. Oh no, I know go delay, jump my fall. Only you day, I don't get back up. When I wake up in the morning, now you are the best cup. And I don't really wanna break up. I want to make you my last bus cup. Oh na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then you go take, but then you want to do again. You fall in my bed, oh. Oh baby, girl, my love, no more trouble, joke. Now if you say you want me, I don't make it you wanna. Say, oh baby, girl, my love, no more trouble, joke. Now if you say you want me, I don't make it.
Listen to your number one radio. HiRadio.
Yes. Coming back to you. This is Donny from Amsterdam. HiRadio, the voice of the next generation. So we've already started our program. This is Africa on Focus, where we celebrate African excellence. And as discussed in the intro, today I'll be having a talk, an interview, a conversation with my dear brother Palgrave, who's a returning guest on the show. We've had them numerous amounts of times, and basically our focus is the youth, the leadership. How do we prepare the youth for the next generation? This is something that is mutual, is of mutual interest of HiRadio and also our brother Palgrave, what he does in his journey. So today, hopefully, when he comes on, we'll dive into the issues that we touched upon last week, which is the Fix the Country campaign, media campaign that erupted in the beginning of May and has actually impacted, in a sense, it has had its influence, as well as it has also given the outside world the reality of the conditions which is ongoing in Ghana. So basically the idea, or what I feel like the urge was, is that the youth pretty much are fed up with how Ghana is being run, or what the situations are within Ghana. But my questions is, does COVID has a thing to do with it, or is this something that was always there? And how does the media, this Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, how does that affect the conditions that we're in? Especially, how does it give the youth as well as the leadership a voice, a medium to project their thoughts and their experiences? So we hope to dive more into that this episode of Africa on Focus. Before that, since I'm in the Netherlands, what has been ongoing in the Netherlands? Last week or 2 weeks ago, we entered into the stage 2 of our, let's say, corona, going back to the life after corona. Stage 2 simply meant gyms were open, restaurants were open for limited people as well as limited hours. This week we've been blessed with, let's say, today is a sunny day. Yesterday was sunny as well. Yet next week is going to be more sunny than it was last week and this week. So how do these corona restrictions measures, how does it affect our lives? Is anything going to change? Well, here I have a news article speaking on the vaccination and where we hope to be in a couple of months time. So reads, by September everyone will have been fully vaccinated, according to the minister. So every adult who wants to be vaccinated against coronavirus will be fully protected by the beginning of September. Health Minister Hugo de Jonge has told television current affairs show WNL on Sunday, op zondag. And like Germany, the Netherlands will use mobile vaccination centers to reach people who may not otherwise get vaccinated, the Jonge said. By Sunday, an estimated 9.1 million doses of vaccine had been given in the Netherlands. In addition, it is realistic to think that before the start of the new school year, most of the coronavirus measures in the Netherlands will have been abandoned, the Jonge said. This would include the 1.5 meter rule and face masks. Nevertheless, people may remain alert and not be over optimistic, the minister said. You have to keep the 1.5 meters distance as long as you have not been vaccinated. On Friday, the Jonge and Prime Minister Mark Rutte outlined the next 2 steps in the government's plan to reopen Dutch society. So that basically reflects the news here in Amsterdam on our COVID situation. So we still strive on vaccinating, of course, and this is necessary, as we reported since early November, October, that in order for all corona measures, restrictions to be uplifted, at least 80% of the population has to be vaccinated. The question is, are we going to reach that 80%? Another question is, when are we going to reach that 80%? And also, will it take the 80% before we can return to our normal, or can we go back to normal before that 80% is vaccinated? If you're joining us on our YouTube, on our Facebook, please let us know. Engage with me on whether you're gonna get vaccinated. Have you been vaccinated? Share your experience, because still, myself, I haven't been vaccinated, and I would love to hear the stories behind these vaccines. Honestly, I don't mind, since we've had experts, we've had psychology expert, as well as Dr. Sabine, who's a general practitioner at Doctor. We've had them on the show to discuss the vaccines, as well as to discuss the consequences of COVID within our lives, and how we can manage our sanity and our peace and our health as well. We had our nutritionist 2 weeks ago as well to give us some tips on that. I'm looking forward to hearing more of people, their personal experiences. How are they going through COVID? How are they managing their lives? And if they have been vaccinated, how did that process go? Can you choose your own vaccine? Because that's also something that I've heard is around, but I'm not sure. Since the AstraZeneca was they didn't allow it to be given to people over 50 age of years in the Netherlands, I was wondering, does that mean that when you go to the general practitioner, or when you receive an invitation for the vaccine, can you pick and choose your own vaccine? That might be helpful, because maybe I want to get vaccinated, but I don't want the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca or the Moderna, whichever I've heard. Let's say it will be bad for myself. Like, then I can also exercise that right to choose a vaccine. Please share that experience with us. Again, if you're joining from the Facebook, YouTube, share the link, invite others, communicate with myself and HiRadio.
to your number one radio. Hi Radio. Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
I the shape in out the Bible bed, go for say, Dallas so they snap in the bay. The guys in our do chapel walk no, double share, one house on a club will obey. Tiname summer pan, a yellow sumia, Mr. Unia, ladies are was so Yame summer pan, a yellow sumia.
Where is the YouTube?
Tiname summer pan, a yellow sumia, that yellow in the plastic. Where's the YouTube thing? Where I can see the engagement of people. I was looking for that. Do I have to go on YouTube myself? Chapuli wa school sipa nanso memesi we dumo bo kobi nte ya mesoma pa na yele sumia abisa unia debisa wa so wo ya mesoma pa na yele sumia wa me janka na sama ya mabali nte ya mesoma pa na yele sumia unia fumu we dumo vencheni ya mesoma pa na yele sumia dom na membu wa de we da she bi kesi ase kamo so feji wa I came with the one. I am Mushabu, not the other one. Gamos of Rajiwa. Also, I am welcome with the Mondum Baby. No coffee, what the other one. Share a who Christian, a who Muslim, a who careful, a who soft, a who comfort. As I say, Proye, but no chefs 1 year. MP who come upon in Sutra. We are so a bad man. The minty lecture, pardon you, dance on one pass mark. For money, we go share blood. Yami Bayer or fast, into fast like fast track.
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
That's a first now a church. Or no mama yami on the church. Now I don't know how to track. Part-time Christian. You won't fight 4-time devil. You the joke. Until you yami summa pan a yellow sumia. Yami summa pan a yellow sumia.
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
Who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. I'm the blessed of God. I am the one who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. I'm the blessed of God. I am the one who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. Oh, no, blessed of God. I will tell it everywhere I go. You know what it is, right? It's Gnarly. This is a story of a child who was blessed of God. Young boy from Africa winning the world for God. Like this on your channel, these boys so 20 channel rapping who could get this way and they win the soul. Pure bliss. So we found one another most is the name. But I need out and yes, yeah, Jesus, my soul. Honestly, when I see people singing my songs and praising the Lord, I feel blessed up. It's an honor to be used as a vessel. They told me, Nolly, you lucky you came up too fast, though. I tell them that a blessed man is a blessed man, yeah. I don't believe in luck, I believe in blessings. I am the one who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. I'm the blessed of God. I am the one who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. I'm the blessed of God. I am the one who God is blessed, the one who God is blessed. I am the one who God is blessed. Oh, no, blessed of
The best of the best in European entertainment, music, arts, and more. Interviews with top-notch artists, industry players, promotions, and more. It's the Y Zone. Y Zone. Y Zone.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
Zagadat. Same time body 10. It's your boy.
It's P. Kelly.
My baby, they confuse me, yo, with a bomb bomb. But she got the guy where they send her money from London. She they see me like a Johnny just come. Yeah. My monkey they walking, baboon he just the chop. Me I go chop all the washing, as long as you give me my passion. Baby, make you know they rush me. I beg you, make you treat me with caution. Leg over, my baby, give me leg over. Hangover, baby, she dey give me hangover. Hey, leg over, oh no, make give me leg over. Hey, game over, she dey come give me game over. Hey, I dey confuse you, I dey confused when you turn around, baby, you dey make her confused. You do all I like a Cameroon, mesmerize the boy, and baby make her confused. Commando, you be commando, you dey command the boy, you take overload, yeah.
Hi,
I know if you stand alone, I must
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
As long as you give me my passion, baby, make you know they rush me. I beg you, make you treat me with caution. Leg over, my baby, give me leg over. Hangover, baby, she dey give me hangover. Hey, leg over, oh no, make give me leg over. Hey, game over, she dey come give me game over. Easy. Hey, my baby they distract me with a bomb bomb. But she get the guy where they send her money from London. She they see me like a Johnny just come. Yeah. My monkey they walking, baboon he just chop. Me I go chop all the washing.
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
Baby, make you know they rush me. I beg you, make you treat me with caution. Leg over, my baby, give me leg over. Hangover, baby, she dey give me hangover. Hey, leg over, oh no, make give me leg over. Hey, game over, she dey come give me game over. I dey confused when you turn around, baby, you dey make her confused. Commando, you be commando, you the command the boy, you the overload, yeah. I know fit stand alone, I must call my guy, we for rendezvous.
Hi Radio, Hi Radio, Hi Radio, voice of the next generation.
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
I've been in my room, but I know outside there's sunshine. Oh baby, you're my sunshine. So I still got you cold. It do me like I never fall in love, make me feel like the first time, yeah. A dangerous love affair. I'm gambling on my heart. I feel the love it I am. Are you really the one? No go come tire for me. Make you no go tire for me, yeah. I feel the love it I am. Are you really the one? No go come tire for me. Make you no go tire for me, yeah.
see you, my body, they sorrow, even in a different time. Oh, 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 I'm deep in love with you. I'm deep in love with you. Oh, I'm deep in love with you. Yeah. I'm deep in love with you. I'm deep in love with you. Oh, I'm deep in love with you. I feel the love it, are you really the one? No go come tire for me. Make it no go turn yawa for me. I feel the love it, are you really the one? No go come tire for me.
Yes. So. Yeah. Coming back at you. Yeah. Basically, just in the flow of music, as we await upon our guest, Brother Palgrave, to tune in. Again, this is High Radio, African Focus, where we celebrate African experience and African excellence, pretty much. Today, we are hoping to get into the conditions around Fix the Country, which is a media campaign ongoing in Ghana, as well as get some updates on the situation in Ghana. Please, we're about to engage in a conversation, in a deep conversation on this matter. If you have any friends, relatives who you want to share, who are in Ghana or in the diaspora, who would like to share this information with, please share our link. On Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you can get it. Share it so that we can spread this information. I just checked our YouTube, and GH King, shout out to you. GH King asking Donnie, please a question: are you really enjoying what you are doing? GH King's, matter of fact, this playlist I have ongoing here, I just want to go through them, since these are songs that I literally enjoy listening to myself. So yes, I love every second of being here. And I know you probably can't tell by looking at my face, but yes, I am enjoying this. But I'm more interested in the conversation we're about to have, and I'm more in the preparation for that. Because it has to be good. It has to be something that will literally make us understand where we stand. Because as a Ghanaian myself, and one who's looking forward to actually moving back, this is not something we can, be all joyful or even, take it like lightly at all. So hence, I may look a bit stiff, but I bet you I am enjoying every second. But hey, I love the fact that you are interacting with us on YouTube. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, please ask. I have my questions I want to ask personally. I have questions on behalf of High Radio, but I would love to ask your questions as well, as the audience, as the listeners. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions on these things. Thank you very much. Sylvia Candy just tuned in. Thanks. I see you. Let's see if we can get our guest on to have this chat with. Let's see if my guest can hear me. Hello, good evening, Brother Palgrave. Can you hear me? Oh wait, I can't hear you. So perhaps let's see why I cannot hear my dear brother. So I don't seem to be hearing you through my headphones, which is where I have to hear you from. So I'll have our producer, Mr. Slim, it's just me and him today. I'll have him resolve this issue if we can. Right, so whilst we fix this, I can see you are looking good as always. I mean, I wore this shirt because I knew Brother Palgrave would come and represent. So I was like, I'm here with him, and we're going to represent Ghana, our culture, together. I can see you talk. I just can't hear you. We're still working on it, but yeah, we should be able.
Radio, your perfect choice.
What else?
It's Mr. Drew, eh?
Highly spiritual.
It's your boy Cream,
Hey, right, shake it. Well, I am when I'm at
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
You know you go be mad at day. You go be mad at day. If you see my baby, yeah. Girl, I'm saying, see the feeling I get love. Oh.
Hey, Dana Samoy. My body, na my fro. Dance with my sister. Ansani bintiunga, nanze bintiunga. Inti mabwa me home, baby can't wanna drink. Baby don't be late, me do me oh die. Silly. Onangona to my belly. I will have a shower. See body they shake me, rabe.
Suspect. Makoma na you ram me ball suspect. Be hitting my mateme boxes.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
So yes. I hope we have resolved it now. I had to throw that mix in there real quick. That was Mr. Drew featuring Sarkodie. I hope you enjoyed that one. So let's see if I can get Brother Palgrave audio in. Yes, hello, good evening. Ooh, I think I can hear you, but it's not clear yet. Oh. I heard, is everything okay? I'm still having difficulties here. So I can't get his mic in. yeah, we working hard. We working hard on this. It seems like it's either, I don't know what happens to the settings, but it seems like it's a reoccurring problem where this week it will be perfect, and then the week after, I don't know, somehow it just goes back on reset. We're working on it. So yes. If you're following, if you are tuned in on our YouTube, I have a challenge for you. Whilst we await this problem to be fixed, this instrumental that I'm playing, can you guess the song? Yes, that's my challenge. Can you guess what song this is? The instrumentals. I love it. I just love the sax and how it's playing on the background. Whilst we try to resolve this technical issue. If you can hear the instrumentals, let me know what song that is. Brother Palgrave, can you hear me? Okay. Let's see. Oh, you can hear me, right? Yeah, I know. I can see that you can hear me, but it's just I just can't hear you. I think I will have to do it another way. Yeah, okay, so that's not working. Sorry for the feedback, but yeah. Oh. I'm not getting anything.
Perfect choice. HiRadio, your perfect choice.
Mad for your body, yo. Dress for your body, yo. Sing for your body, yo. Baby, mad for your body, yo. Dress for your body, yeah. Anything for your body, yo. Girl, I wanna
wanna take it personal. Fight for your matter like a wrestler. Pay for your body like a painkiller. Baby, your body na sisima. Obasima. Order your Uber, my gentina. Pay for your body like a painkiller. Sweet to your body na sisima.
Yeah, see my baby make her realize. Say the groupies and the side chicks or them be lies. They wear bikini intentionally to show ties. Nobody compared to my baby cause they be low price. They get anybody in a boys, he be friendly tundra. Now the who's in Kemuda and memo that the lumba. Made them mess up the cano crack, Jimmy Gunsa. Carpenter to me fear cause I'm a dubia me boompa. Yeah. Boys, he is so pointed. I'm swimming jam and how shape it is a uniform. Say the private to coach, she be just a backpack. Cause niggas in meaning until I'm swimming in the form of what crack. For the
fight for your matter like a wrestler. Pay for your body like a painkiller. Baby, your body na sisima. Obasima. Order your Uber, my gentina. Pay for your body like a painkiller. Sweet to your body na sisima.
Yeah, you see the way you give me better love. So what I did, mommy, and I dream better off. I want to marry you till I me boo prayer was. My member lock it down cause it's some kiki dorsal. The testimony, the share when I mean your type. What's answer you who the local rap and your size. What they want home, and it no be money, no be hype. Oh, mama, pet would they be do? Let me in the eyes. Finally, I want to change my coma like the Holy Ghost. And can I me to copy and then me to go? Yeah, it took me so long to get you to me. So I can't wait, I will never let you go, me dollar.
Baby, man for your body.
I'm gonna be pumping.
Dress for your body, yo. Sing for your body, yo. Sing for my honey, yo. My lady, man for your body, yo. Dress for your body, yeah. Anything for your body, yeah. Girl, I wanna tell you personal. Fight for your mother like a wrestler. Pay for your body like a painkiller. Baby, your body na sisima. Oh, sisima. Basima. Order your Uber, my gentina. For your body like a painkiller. Sweet to your body, na sisima.
You know what time it is. But let me call baby. Run town. Another classic. Success music.
Jojo, my baby Jojo, my baby Jojo.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
Cause I body too passy way on you. I never want to try lose you, try and no one be well. I know fit tire for you, but I like say I know do. Suddenly man I come down, man down for only you, yeah. Many man they try to whine you. I don't really mind, they just they whiny. Many girls they try to whine me. Baby no go mind them, just be whiny. Many man they try to whine you, but I don't really mind, they just they whiny. Many girls they try to whine me. Baby no go mind them, just be whiny. So me say ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby. Oh yeah, raga for me, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby. Jojo, my baby Jojo, my baby Jojo, Jojo. Amina Zomana, answer me Joe, chasing me now. It be like you be my destiny now. This kind of love, you know they similar. Amina Mutunia, Molaeko, Botemina. No, me Orika Kirima. So mommy get baby, speak to me now. Many man they try to whine you. I don't really mind, they just they whine. Oh, many man you try to whine me. Baby no go mind them, just be whiny. Many man they try to whine you, but I don't really mind, they just they whiny. Oh, many man you try to whine me. Baby no go mind them, just they whiny. So me say ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby. Oh yeah, raga for me, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby. Oh yeah, raga for me, Jawa. My baby Jojo, my baby Jojo, Jojo. Jojo, my baby Jojo, my baby Jojo, Jojo.
Take it easy on the beat.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
Oh, Susanna, I hope you're happy now. I see you flexing on the ground with your sponsor. Susanna, I hope you're happy now. I see you change your skin color and your hair is longer now. Na kuona pale hapo kando ya Champs-Elysees, ukitesa na kamini none of my business. And I see you in London, silicone on your palm, shaking what your doctor gave ya, on your worst behavior, Susanna Van Ness. Somebody loves you. Susanna Manes. Hello, 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 hello. Change your mind and come back home. Somebody loves you. Susanna, mwanamke tabia, shepu ni majaliwa, ila wengi walinyimwa tabia, na shepu kabarikiwa. Mwanamme hisia, pesa ni majaliwa, ila wengi walinyimwa hisia, na pesa kabarikiwa. Na kuona Brazil, hapo Rio de Janeiro, ukiongezewa nywele senje, none of my business. And I see you in China, with the latest designer, shaking what your doctor gave ya, on your worst behavior, Susanna Van Ness. Somebody loves you. Susanna Van Ness. Hello, hello, hello. Change your mind and come back home. Somebody loves you. Aisenje nakosa usingizi usiku kucha mina dua. Aisenje akilini moyoni bado we wanizuzua. When are you coming home, Senje? Tell me, are you on your way? Kife tukipendana, Kiromeo na Julia. Ai Senje nakosa usingizi usiku kucha mina dua. Ai Senje akilini moyoni bado we wanizuzua. When are you coming home, Senje? Tell me, are you on your way? Kife tukipendana, Kiromeo na Julia. Ai Senje bane Senje. Come somebody on. Loves you. Oh, Senje. Hello, hello, hello. Change your mind and come back home. Somebody loves you.
Hi Radio, your perfect choice.
The Almighty Streaming.
GDF to do me like wabe. Yeah, same time sipping lime and more. Yeah, she dey make a craze with her body shape. Yeah, give me good soup on day. Yeah. Follow for you on the first day. Maybe you're dimmy nice one, yeah. Oh, I change my girl home for a while. Oh, I change my girl home for a while. All the other boys just go slow, yeah. Won't make you know, say I do wow. Won't make you know, say I do wow. Never let you go, say I do wow. I put all the energy you give me in the song. All the good vibe you give me in the song. I put all the love that you give me to everything. My pretty little thing, see I never. Put all the energy you give me in the song. All the good vibe you give me in the song. I put all the love that you give me to everything. My pretty little thing, see never.
Girl, I give you my body, girl, I give you my soul. I give you anything you want, make I know. Oh my girl, you blow my mind, yeah. Honey, my girl, like a boy, you love me, come on. No need you, so money, my face, I know. Oh my girl, I know the lie. Everything, baby girl, you be everything. Say your vibe, you be everything. So for your love, baby, I just sing. Yeah. You get back. You ask me, you love me back. You ask me, I put all the energy you give me the song. All the good vibes you give me the song. I put all the love that you give me to everything. My pretty little things, see, I never. Put all the energy you give me. All the good vibe you give me in a song. I put all the love that you give me to everything. My pretty little things, see, I never. Show me body, it can bring you one day. Send me a location, I go come. I'm going to the moon, and if I come back, send me a location, I go come. Lord, you know I find you amusing. You find the way you are. Oh baby, I beg you, make you choose me. You know you find you special. Mindy
Right. This. So basically, we're still working on the audio technical difficulties that we are facing right now. Shout out to those who are still tuned in on our YouTube. Shout out to Manso Gary for hey Donny on the airwaves. Yes, I'm definitely on the airwaves, but I would like to share this airwave with my brother Palgrave. So well, we're going to give it one more try, and if that doesn't work out, then unfortunately, to my greatest regret, I think we would have to postpone. Not because we can't talk, but because I know that we need that time, and it's already 8:30 in Amsterdam. So we have technically we have an 30 minutes, and we can prolong to an hour. But to get that much information as I want to get out of this discussion and this conversation, as well as to inform our audience to the max, it will be wise to postpone this if on this trial it doesn't work. So bear with me. I'll give it one more go. I see Brother Palgrave is still there, hanging there strong, being supportive as he can. And thank you very much for being patient. I really commend that. I appreciate that. So Brother Palgrave, if you can hear me, please speak into the mic. Can you hear me? I see you are. Yeah, I hear you talk. Wait, I can hear something. I just heard something. I can hear you laugh. I don't know where that sound is coming from, but at least I have some voice. Unfortunately, it's not coming through my headphones. Right. But okay. At least I can hear voice. I don't know if the audience can hear us. So if you are following on Facebook, on YouTube, if you can hear Brother Palgrave, if you can hear myself, please let us know, so we know that at least this issue has been resolved and we can commence on this conversation. Please let us know so we can continue. Well, Brother Palgrave, how are you? We hear it a bit. Someone says we hear it a bit. Okay, so that means that the volume has to go up. My volume or Brother Palgrave's volume? I can hear Brother Palgrave very clearly, though. I can hear, he just said very well. I can hear him perfectly. So you? What was that? Oh, good. Good to hear that. How was your Sunday?
My Sunday has been quite refreshing.
Yes.
I spent the mother time at home today.
Right.
And some young people were having around here. When you level of leadership in their national university.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asked to give them a pep talk, which I have just said.
A speech.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, but if this is was this a relaxing Sunday for you? Because it sounds like you. To be honest, oh dear Lord. So that means that, okay. So then on your usually days, then you are, of course, you are extremely busy. But again, I can sense, or I can also understand how this can be relaxing for you, since you get the chance to speak to the next generation, pretty much. How was it for you? How is such a talk, how does it motivate you in a sense?
Well, to be honest, for me, it's just really very encouraging to see that younger people are preparing themselves for leadership at a very basic level.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important that we instill the characters and the attitudes that is needed at this very basic level before we get to a higher level of leadership responsibility. Okay. So some of the things that I shared with them was that hard work pays.
Right.
You don't get ahead when you work hard. Mm-hmm. You need to work hard to be able to get the results and the fruits. I also shared with them that it's important that when you're in leadership, you rise up to the
occasion. Right. Beautiful. Great. He's just diving right into it, straight into this leadership. It's like, that I tell you, this topic is literally brewing. It's just we have to dive into this leadership, this youth involvement, engagement subject. So I like how Brother Palgrave just goes straight into it. So Brother Palgrave, please continue. You're talking about
and so for me, it's always an opportunity to connect with young people.
Right.
I always want to avail myself because I believe that there's something that I have that they would like to learn and hear. After traveling to almost 80 countries of the world, I think that I have a unique selling proposition which can be shared to many young people that have not even had the opportunity that I have had.
Okay.
I consider myself to have given a gift, and I would like to share the gift abroad to everyone that is needed.
Beautiful. Well said. Thank you so much. This is also, in short, this is an amazing Sunday for you, since you get to do exactly what you feel like, or what you have demonstrated you're best at, which is leading, which is giving those who need that example, role model, mentorship. This is just you in in a couple of words. So as last week here on the show, we were just going through a news flash, MS.ABA and myself, and then we touched on this topic, the Fix the Country, that's been going on in the media, as we've seen from abroad, right? So we felt it's something we should get involved in, or let's say at least as from a media perspective in the diaspora. And since HiRadio has a mission statement to be the voice of the next generation, we felt like, okay, this is a topic we just cannot keep astray, or we just can't put in the backseat. We have to be on the forefront of this. So at the end of this conversation, I'm hoping that not only would you give us some advice, the young ones and the leaders, some advice on how to handle this issue that's ongoing in Ghana and actually elsewhere in the world, but also to give us a deeper understanding of where these things come from. Where does this situation, whether psychological, whether social, whether economical, whether it has to do with the pandemic, I want to get a deeper understanding of this, and I know for a fact that you are the guy to ask these questions too. But before we get into all that, I would like to know, because I know that you recently got your second dose of vaccine in Ghana.
Yeah, right.
And even before you got your vaccination, you also attracted COVID, which was very serious in your case. So after the second vaccine, how do you feel about the vaccine? Like, what are your thoughts on this vaccine rollout?
Okay, Donny, a very good evening to you. I think that I haven't greeted your viewers, listeners.
We just dive right into it. Yes.
A very good evening to Miss Abba. Well, we're the recovery. We miss her on. I think that globally we quite intrigued with how global leaders are working vigorously around the clock to ensure that we have this global pandemic called COVID-19. I happen to have been a victim of COVID-19. I arrived by the grace of God after going through ventilation for close to 21 days.
Wow.
And having gone through the first vaccination, which I had in April,
right
after my recovery, actually, I think I had my first vaccination in March.
Yeah.
After my recovery in January, I had no complication.
Okay.
No complication of headache, no complication of low oxygen, no complication of loss of breath, no complication of body pains, no complication whatsoever.
Okay.
And then the second vaccination came, and I must commend the leadership of the country, because we know very well that the first vaccination that everybody had, especially those that had it, were supposed to take their second vaccination within 8 to 12 weeks of taking your first vaccination to allow the vaccine to be effective.
Right.
And I must commend the leadership of the country, Ghana, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for ensuring that the good people of this country received their second dosage of vaccination, hearing upon the fact that our first vaccination was given to us by the Indian government. And so, knowing that India had a third wave, the entire globe were very concerned, especially for those that had taken the particular kind of vaccine that was manufactured and produced in India. And I must commend that the Republic of Congo were able to give us some vaccines, which has come into this country. I had my second vaccination last week, and I have again not had any complication whatsoever. I've not had any headache. I've not had loss of breath. I'm going about my activities as I had since January. And I'm sure that the complications are very minimal as well, because I've been following all throughout the various networks and the various hospitals to be able to ascertain if a week after the vaccination, if they have any reported cases of persons that are either reacting negatively to the vaccine or not. And it has proven that none. There's been a minimal record of persons that have either come back to the hospital facility to state that they are reacting negatively after taking the second vaccine.
Okay.
Which means that the second vaccine is accurate, it's well authorized by the Food and Drug Authority in this country, and it meets the standards of vaccination, and is good for every single person who has not taken the first vaccine, who has an opportunity to take the vaccine, to ensure that you take your vaccine. The goal as well is that I'm very much aware that government wants to be able to reach herd immunity. Government wants to immunize and vaccinate as many Ghanaians, close to about 70% of Ghana's population should be immunized. Those that are above 18 years old are going to be immunized. And I think that when you are immunized, it does not necessarily mean that you cannot contract COVID. You still need to be able to follow the protocols. You need to wear your nose mask. You need to sanitize your hand. You need to avoid crowd. You need to ensure that you stay safe, because taking the vaccine in itself does not make you 100% immune.
No.
It basically means that you can be able to fight the virus.
Right.
But then you still need to go through the protocols of social distancing, of washing your hands, of sanitizing, and of wearing your nose mask.
Yeah.
And if need be, of ensuring that you take a lot of water.
Right. So here in the Netherlands, we have this. They hope by September at least 80% of the population will be vaccinated, and with that we can like go back to our normal life before COVID, which is no face masks, and nor do we have to maintain that 1.5 meter distance. In Ghana right? You said we are striving to have 70% of the population vaccinated, but is this a prerequisite for the restrictions to be lifted in totality, or is this, you know, a goal besides the fact that okay, they're still working on actually uplifting the COVID restrictions?
And so, thank you very much, Donny. I'm very much aware that as we take the vaccination, there's not going to be a lot of lifting of the COVID restrictions. Churches still have an opportunity to meet for 2 hours. Churches still have to meet in a minimum number. Mosques are open. Nightclubs are closed. Beaches are closed. Some economic activities are in full force. Hotels are open for people to be in those hotels. Restaurants are open. And so by and large, schools are open. Persons are going to school. By and large, a sizable part of the economy is actively operating
already.
Now, I think that it would be a greater concern to see that all the COVID protocols are lifted up, even when we reach 70 plus 1% vaccinated persons in this country, and we even reach herd immunity. The reason is that people still travel, and as long as people are traveling, there's almost always going to be a case of 1 or 2 persons who may introduce the virus back into a country. And so for me, and for the rest of us that are part of Kandifp Institute as a research institute, we advocate very strongly that even when Ghana reaches 75% persons vaccinated and 80% we have reached herd immunity, we still have to ensure that we are following the protocols, because our borders are open. And as our borders are open, we are aware that 72 hours before you enter into the country, Ghana, you must hold in your hand a negative PCR test. And then when you arrive in the country, you also are going to be given a COVID test. And when you are negative, you'll be allowed into the country. Howbeit, knowing the virus and knowing how it is, many of us have not fully understood how the virus turns out. Many of the scientists as well have not fully understood how the virus turns out. Sometimes it takes 8 to 10 days before the virus shows. And even though 72 hours prior to entering into the country, Ghana, you hold a PCR test negative, and even on arrival at Kotoka International Airport, you are still able to have a PCR test negative. You may have a virus, which may show forth 7 days after. And so everybody needs to stay safe. Everybody needs to ensure that they are wearing their nose mask, they are sanitizing their hand, they are social distancing, and then they are ensuring that they are following all the protocols that is needed.
Okay, beautiful. So, but then from you know, the research think tank, which is Kandifp Institute, where you are the head of, what is your projection for the second half of the year in Ghana? Is it at the end of the year, you know, life is back to normal, or what do you predict?
And so thank you very much, Donny. I think that by the end of 2021, Ghana would have vaccinated close to 70 to 75% of its population.
Okay.
Now, this is purely on accordance to those that have taken their first vaccine and those that have taken their second vaccine. We know that when we had the first vaccine, we had close to about thousands of people, frontliners, people that were aged, people that had underlying issues. Most of them had their first vaccination. Same with the second vaccine. And so we are going to have a third one where persons that never had the first vaccine and had the second vaccine are going to have their first vaccine. And so the vaccination are in phases. We predict very strongly that by the time we usher ourselves into January 2022, Ghana would be a safe place where almost everybody would have been vaccinated. Howbeit, as we study the global trend of the COVID-19, it's important that we learn lessons from the global trends. We need to learn lessons because COVID-19 started in Asia. Many people didn't think that it was going to rise heads in Europe or even on the continent of Africa. Now there's a third wave in India. India has a population of billions of people. We need to be concerned about that third wave. We need to keep our brothers and sisters in India in our prayers. We need to keep them in our thoughts. We need to ensure that that third wave does not escalate into other continents of the world. And so by their doing, if we give ourselves a projection of an extra 6 months, we'll be able to ascertain how many countries have dealt with a first wave, with a second wave, and if there are no possibilities of a third wave in close to about 2/3 of the world's population and 2/3 of the world's country, then we can be able to say that clearly the global world has been able to combat COVID-19 to the latter.
Right. Good. Okay. So that's the Kandifp prediction, and honestly, since the since the previous prediction they made, I think that was last year, a year ago. I think in May they already predicted that by August Ghana would have to go into another lockdown and all of this, and that came true. So the prediction is at the end of the year Ghana will be 70 to 75% vaccinated. That basically means that over there it's pretty much safe to be in that country. However, they still have to uphold certain restrictions in order to ensure that those traveling in, because I know this year, December, people are going to fly into Ghana to relieve some stress and to enjoy. But Ghana has to protect themselves from all these, all these individuals who want to come to Ghana to enjoy. But, by all means, over there, it's going to be safe at the end of the year, and next year it's going to be even better. Let's dive right into it. Fix the country. Fix the country, something that came on our radio radar last week and the week before. But I am here. MS.ABA was here. HiRadio is operated from the city of Amsterdam. All we know, all we see is what's being shown on the media. Yet this same media is the medium where actually gave the youth or those in Ghana the power and the voice, to give their conditions, their experience, their opinions, what's happening in the country, in Ghana. So I wanted to pose that question to you. What is happening in Ghana? What is this Fix the Country campaign media that we're hearing of? Can you please give us, from your perspective, an understanding or information on this matter?
Thank you very much, Donny. And the conversation around Fix the Country, I've had an opportunity to discuss it on various media platforms. And the Institute as well has brought out a number of publications and research papers to be able to situate it in context. Now, Donny, it is important that we do not politicize the issue of fixing the country. We all are very much aware the parts and type of democracy that we practice on the continent of Africa. Mm-hmm. Our leaders have very minimal time to be able to bring transformation. We run democracy where a leader has an opportunity to do a 4-year tenure in terms of a one term, to do 4 years in presidency. And if the good people of the country believe that you have served well, they give you a second term of a 4-year. Let's go through the conversations very well.
Right.
The conversations are that a leader is voted into office in a 4-year term. When the leader comes, the person has 1 year, especially if he's picking up from an opposition party who has just lost power. He has 1 year either to fix a certain kind of mess that might have been created by a previous government, or to continue the good work that was done by a previous government. If in event that a leader comes into office in a particular tenure where the country is in such a mess and the person needs to fix that country, the person may take the good time that is needed to develop the country, fixing a certain type of leadership error that was created over a period of time. That would take the first 4 years of the person. And then now that individual has an opportunity to do a second term if voted into power. Then now the person is going to stride on the development of the country. Now, the conversation around Fix the Country is indeed a very healthy conversation. Why do I say it's healthy? It's very healthy because in this country, the statistics shows that 52% of Ghana's population are under the age of 25. And Donny, it will shock you to know that this 52% of Ghana's population under the age of 25, 1.2 million Ghanaians, young people, 1.2 million young people are unemployed.
Okay.
That is not an interesting thing to say. That for a third world developing country, you have 1.2 million young people unemployed. Now, that cannot be politicized. That cannot be worn an MPP color, neither can it be worn an NDC color, neither can it be worn a CDP color. That must be worn a nationalistic color. Nationalistic color that we need to ensure that we reduce to the barest minimum a zero employment level, where we have a zero unemployed people. Many people in this country need to be employed. And so the conversations around fixing the country is well in the right direction. This is the reason why we vote our leaders into office. We vote our leaders into office to be able to come and give a solution to a problem that is in the country.
Right.
And I believe that if we situate the conversations very well and situate it very holistically, we will not jeopardize the future of our generation. How do we fix the country? We need to fix the country in a number of ways. For us as an institute, we have identified very well the critical role the young person plays in the development of this country. Society has given us 7 pillars, which is used to be able to build a country. The 7 pillars, in no order of importance, is the religious pillar. The religious pillar is a critical pillar if you want to be able to build a country you do not need to neglect. The entertainment and media is another pillar you do not need to neglect. Governance is another pillar you do not need to neglect.
Right.
Business and commerce is another pillar you do not need to neglect. Education is another pillar you do not need to neglect. ICT and technology is another pillar you do not need to neglect. Now, Donny, having cited all these holistic pillars, we have a huge concern. And as a younger person with the rest of my colleagues, we have a huge concern on where our country is headed to as a country. Now, we know very well that we vote leaders into office. They have only a 4-year tenure to be able to transform and develop this country.
Yes.
I have stated very clearly that from the time we picked up helm of leadership affairs from the people, the British colony, when the good people of this country said that Ghanaians are independent enough to be able to manage their own affairs, I believe very well that we had a blueprint for the development of this country.
Okay.
And Donny, there is a National Development Planning Commission, which is mandated by the 1992 Constitution to ensure that Ghana is effectively developed along a particular plan. We live in this country, Ghana, where every single political party develops its own political, ideological policies to be able to develop this country. Donny, we cannot continue like this. We need to situate the development of this country under the National Development Planning Commission ideology and plan. When we situate that, every single political party would develop their own policies based on the National Development Planning Commission strategy. Why do I say this? When the New Patriotic Party comes into power, they will develop their own policies and ideologies based on their philosophy. When the National Democratic Congress comes into power, they will develop their own policies and ideologies based on their ideology. When the Conventional People's Party comes into power, they would be able to develop the ideologies based on their ideology. My brother, we cannot continue like this.
No.
We need to be able to have our leaders come into power to be able to pick up the mandate and the authority of the Ghanaian people. It is the Ghanaian people who wake up every single 4-year term to go and kill, to go and vote to choose their leaders, either to be president or to be parliamentarians. I know very well that if Ghana is a country and Ghana is a company with a CEO, there is no way the CEO would employ people and then ask the people to tell the CEO what to do. We, the people of this country, democratically elect our leaders.
Right.
As we do so, we need to democratically tell our leaders what we want in this country. I believe that is a fair bargain. It's a very fair bargain to stand on a political party platform and campaign and ask the people, I want to lead you. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
It's a very fair bargain for us to be able to develop the National Development Planning Commission, look at the agenda of Ghana at 2057, Ghana at 100, how Ghana is supposed to be, the decentralization of Ghana, the number of hospitals Ghana must have, the number of industrialization Ghana must have, how the road networks must be done, how railway must be done, the number of airports at various places, how our population is matching up with our industrialization, the number of universities that must be here. We need to ensure that we want to be able to see a Ghana that is developed beyond political party colors.
Right.
Until we do that, my brother, I think that the greater concern of the fix the country needs to be taken as collective responsibility. It is the total collective responsibility of every single person. Either you are being ruled or you are being governed, and either you're being led or you are leading. It is our collective responsibility.
That's very true.
The indiscipline in this country is too much. Donny, there are many people that have had an opportunity to travel outside the country. Why is it that in Rwanda, they do not allow polythene bag? It is primarily because the leadership of Rwanda, President Paul Kagame, decided that he doesn't want to have polythene bag. They fought against him, they complained, but yet still he fixed it. We have a new government in this country.
Okay.
I am extremely confident in the government and leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm extremely confident in his ministers. I'll tell you something. The regional minister for Greater Accra, Donny, the next time you visit Accra, you will be totally surprised. Because he has taken a commanding lead. And he's clearly clearing the streets. And he's saying that these streets belong to him. And I think that as long as we continue to have the passion, as long as we continue to have the desire, as long as we continue to say that we have been given a leadership responsibility to fix a problem, I think that will solve the issues. We have many issues in this country. We need to start tackling the issues one block after another block. And once we begin to tackle the issues a block after the other, we will see the improvement and the development of this country in a holistic manner, as Europe was not built in a day, as Rome was not built in a day, as Asia was not built in a day. In that same manner, Ghana in 64 years is old enough to start building that blocks of development.
Exactly. And I think that is also where this, I mean, from what I've known or from what I've read, the Fix the Country campaign is the fact that, you know, they've been dealing with, like you said, every office or every party that comes into power, they literally do what is their agenda, and they undo the good and, you know, the bad and the good of the previous cabinet, as well as the ones that before. So they waste too much time on let's say enforcing their own will, which may not even be to the benefit of, you know, the country in a whole, right? So then here we are, 2021. We just had the re-election of President Nana Akufo-Addo last December, right? So he has already had 4 years, and there's another 4 years coming. You said we have a regional minister in the Greater Accra region who's taking back the streets and actually making it better. You know, what are the things that you see we have to really, let's say Ghana leadership, they really have to get on in order to make life better for the youth, for Ghanaians?
My brother Donny, I think that what our leaders must do is to take the helm of leadership at the very highest level and lead very strongly.
But what is
overly pampered? Extremely pampered. You know what I mean by being pampered. I'll give you a few examples.
Okay.
We do not punish wrong in the manner in which we should.
Okay.
The taxpayers' money, to a larger extent, sometimes is used. I'll tell you why. People ride their vehicles on the streets, and they can destroy national property, and they can go away unaccounted for.
Yeah.
A simple example: some people drive, have an accident, and they break a traffic light. It's a traffic light that has been fixed with the taxpayers' money. People break and destroy the traffic light, and they are let to go away. That must stop. People drive their vehicles get broken down, they leave their vehicles on the road, other people come and collide, and then it's a collateral damage.
Yes.
That must stop. If you drive your vehicle and your car gets spoiled on the road, there are towing vehicles. Government should tow those vehicles, charge the people for towing, and if after 21 days, the people don't come and reclaim their vehicle, auction their vehicles. We need to be extremely strong.
Connection. I am not. Okay.
And then some citizens in this country would decide to go and take the light bulbs and go and sell. I mean, come on.
Oh man, I heard the last part.
Jail for all those acts.
Yeah. But but this, okay, so this is the leadership who has to be
there
leaders.
are issues that must be attended to.
Yeah. So okay, so this is on the part of leadership, how they should lead.
David.
I think there's a connection error going on.
It's on the part of leadership.
There is on the part of leadership, yeah. And what else were you saying?
I'll do something funny. Whatever you don't fight, never gets done. And so, when in leadership, they must be able to supervise things to the core. If a road contract has been given to a construction company, the construction company has been given 6 months to complete the road, and after 12 months the road has not been completed. What do? We allow the person to be away and not follow up. We need to have our systems working.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Donnie, I went to renew my license. I was given a temporary license, and I was asking, how long would it take for a license card to be done?
Right.
It should take less than 24 hours. I went to renew my license in January, and we are in May. I have not received my license, and I'm using a temporary license to drive in a 21st century country.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
And this is a license.
It doesn't wash down. It doesn't wash down, my brother. It really doesn't wash down. And so, if we want to solve our issues, we need to tackle block by block. Set up leadership responsibilities must work. If you have a leadership responsibility, your other leaders must put you aside and get, because that is the reason you've been put into office. You've been put to work. So fix the problem, to make sure the system is working. If excessive traffic and we need to be in traffic for 4 hours, it's a waste of everybody's time.
Right.
If there are no signs ahead of time of the fact that a particular road is going to be blocked, and so use a different road. I mean, come on. We want to be able to match up with Asian tigers. We want to match up with Netherlands. We want to match up with Europe. We want to match up with the US. We want to match up with the first world countries. We need to start doing what the first world countries do.
Okay. This we need to start doing what the first country do, and your leaders have to be leaders. They have to take that to the highest level, into like overseeing every department, everything under them, and to ensure that the system is working. The working of the, or let's say the functionality of a system, I know from my studies and etc., is takes both parts. So you have the actual system, which comprised of the individuals who are in it. But in this case, these individuals are both the leaders, and you spoke on the leaders part, on the leaders perspective, but as well as the citizens, mainly the youth who are facing these challenges or are going through these negative conditions with the Fix the Country campaign. What is your word, or what is your advice to the youth, or where do you see a place where they can either take responsibility or do something about the condition that Ghana holistically is in?
Thank you very much, Donnie. It has been stated that the young people are the future of tomorrow. I'd like them to restate that statement. It should be stated that the young people are the future of the present. it is our present that will determine our future. If we don't take charge of our present, there's no future for us. And so when it is stated that the young people are the future of tomorrow, sometimes the future never comes. It should be stated that the young people are the future of the present. The present is our future, and that is all that we have. I think that we need to hold a conversation around entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Many of the young Ghanaians do not seek entrepreneurial opportunities. They rather want to be employed. Donnie, I'll tell you an example.
Okay.
If I am not entrepreneurial, I will be part of the unemployed people in this country. That's the basic truth. And other persons who are employed by themselves, if they were not entrepreneurial, they themselves would have been unemployed. And so if you go to the university and you don't take internship opportunities, and you finish the university and you do national service for 1 year,
right?
And after national service you are not employed, you come to become part of the unemployed people. But then you should almost always decide that I am not going to be part of an unemployed people.
Okay.
If no one is going to employ me, what am I going to do? I would employ myself. Find a problem in society and fix the problem. By way of fixing the problem, you are going to start employing yourself. I started employing myself at the very tender age of 17. And right up from 17 up until date, I have been my own self-employer. I've employed myself all throughout the years. And I've worked with various stakeholders to be able to get to where I am. If I had not done that, my certificates can get me employment. But in a system where 1.2 million young people are not employed, and they are competing on the job market, my brother, the only solution to be able to reduce that number from 1 million into the thousands and gradually to a zero is where people start employing themselves. The other solution is where people start employing skilled people. And you know, we need to have the broader conversation of the private sector employing more skilled people and paying them well. Now, there are persons who come into an employment rate where they want to receive, maybe in US dollars or in euros, they want to receive about 200 to 300 euros a month.
Okay.
When they were doing their national service, they might have been given about 75 euros a month. But my brother, how do you do a national service and you are paid 550 Ghana cedis a month, and the moment you finish your national service, you triple that and say that now I have done my national service for 1 year, I have experience, and so when you want to employ me, this is my price.
Oh no, but
if you come to an employer,
I think in all fairness, it's like internship and an actual job, because most of the times internship, even over here, placements are not always let's say rewarded in financial terms. It's up to the company to decide if they do want to pay you. However, and the benefit of the company of actually having interns is the fact that you can have similar work done, however, by cheaper labor cost. However, when a student graduates, then you have now become accredited. You have now become let's say certified to receive full payment, or to let's say ask for the full labor cost of your labor, in a sense. So if Ghanaians, for instance, those who are doing their national service, if after their national service they are expecting full payment, which is 3 times the price of that they were receiving their national service, to me, who is living in abroad, it doesn't sound that that off. It doesn't sound anything unexpected, because it's the same thing done over here. So then, okay, in your words, like how is this not even helping the progress of Ghana? Because I think you are about to dive into that, how this mentality isn't helping the progress of Ghana.
So my brother, Ghana is a developing country.
Okay.
It's an extremely young country economically. The debt record of Ghana's borrowing is very high. And so if you look at the debt record, that is in billions of euros and billions of dollars as a country, then it bewills very much on the fact that the country needs to reduce its debt record. When the country needs to reduce its debt record, then it means that the people in the country now become more financially capable of employing people. But if the country is not financially capable, then it becomes also very difficult for the private sector to even employ you. And so the conversations are that you need to be able to minimize your cost as a younger person when you are being given an opportunity to work. Why do we have 1.2 million young people unemployed in this country? It is for a number of reasons. One, the 1.2 million young people have a bigger price for how much they want to be paid with the skills they do not have. And so they would add on and still remain there. And the striking thing is that every single year, this number keeps increasing. And so if you minimize your cost in terms of how much you want to be paid, you reduce the number of unemployment. But if you give yourself, pay me €1,000, or pay me £1,000, or pay me $1,000, or pay me 5,000 Ghana cedis, and the person who is even employing you does not even receive salary, but because you feel that he owns the company, he has money, you would remain unemployed. And so the conversations are that we need to have a holistic rethink of our employment strategy. The young people also need to have a collective rethink of how much they want to be paid in terms of wages when they are employed. They need to take it gradually. For those that have lived outside the country, you know that when you're outside the country and you're working, you are paid by the hour. In this country, we are not paid by the hour. So if you're employed and you're indisciplined, your boss must sack you and dismiss you because you are using productive hours of your boss to do things that does not meet up to the key performing indicators of the company. Yet at the end of the month, you would bring your wallet and ask your boss to pay. Who are you deceiving? Yourself or your boss? And so we need to be real. And one of the ways of being real is to be disciplined. Discipline is the beginning of this conversation. And that also is to have a vision. You need to have a vision for yourself. And so if you're not being employed, would you stay unemployed? You need to get yourself to do something. But do something that is legal so that you do not go against the laws. Because when the law gets you, you will end up at the side of the device where you do not want to be.
Great. Thank you so much. We're about to go into the last quarter of an hour. I have some questions coming in on via our Facebook or our YouTube to say. I have Ernest Oklite, who is saying, with respect to Greater Accra Regional Minister, even his own members of parliament are against action in the capital city, which is so sad. Ernest says. And I have another question that is the key examples of how to bring change, but where does it start? So you Brother Palgrave, you've touched on so many things, from discipline, which I find extremely important, not only to the youth but as well as to the leadership, because I feel like their lack of function or their lack of leadership is due to indiscipline. They're not disciplined enough. But so there are so many, there's so many aspects. But where do we start? Where does one start? How do we? What should be the first step for Ghana in its entirety to take? Which steps should they take first? What would you say?
What I will say is that every single time people make resolutions, you need to start with yourself. Change starts with ourselves. And so you need to look into the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, and tell yourself where you want to go to. When you determine that, it influences influences everything. It influences your decisions. It influences your actions. It influences your thoughts. It influences your mistakes. It influences your lessons. And so when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror and you mention your name and you say that you are disciplined, you are not going to litter, you are not going to cross the red light, you are not going to insult, you are not going to jump on the street, you are not going to throw a rubber out of the road. When you go to the hospital, you'll be polite with the patients, you'll be polite with the doctors, you will not buy things from the streets.
Yeah.
If we don't patronize people on the streets, they'll leave the streets. If we don't give beggars money on the streets, they'll leave the streets.
Right. Yeah.
And so it starts with ourselves. You know, I don't know about you, but anytime my first time I came to this country, after living outside for a very long time, my cultural shock was to see people selling food on the road, literally food. Like food that they have cooked without any supervision, they are selling it by the side of the road. I was shocked. Until after staying in Ghana for 6 weeks, I realized that I became part of the system. And then I also started buying food by the side of the road. But, you know, sometimes I know how difficult it is to lead people, to govern people. But we need to start from somewhere. Starting from somewhere is like leading the orchestra. When you lead the orchestra, the greatest leader of the orchestra is the conductor of the orchestra.
Sure.
The conductor of the orchestra never sees the crowd. He only sees the orchestra and the people he or she is conducting.
Okay.
That is what leadership is. When you are given the leadership responsibility, just see the orchestra. Don't listen to the crowd. The crowd is making applause because you are leading well. The orchestra is playing harmonious sounds and it's based on your leadership. I think that to lead the orchestra, you must be an authentic leader.
Okay.
To lead the orchestra, you must be bold, courageous, and be a visionary leader. You must have the character, the competence, and the wherewithal to say that you are going to leave a legacy. A legacy that will go into the fabric of this country. And I think that is what we must do. We must call what is good, good, and call what is bad, bad. And so to ask of where to start from, my brother, it starts with the individual. The individual needs to make that conscious decision that I am going to change. I am going to go to work early, not because my boss has asked me to come to work early, because I believe that this is what puts food on my table. And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to utilize the 8 hours that is needed at work. And I'm going to give off my best. So my boss's work will progress and my work will progress. Why would you want to stifle your boss? If you work for the government and you're a civil servant, you should say that I'm going to go to work early because I want Ghana to develop. I'm going to close work late because I want Ghana to develop. I'm not going to say that my boss is not in and so I'm going to play on social media, be on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and spend the taxpayers' money, 9 hours of government's productive work. You are using it to do social media. When people are employed for national service, sometimes, you know, I have a lot of young people who are my friends. And I watch their WhatsApp status and they post a lot of things. Some of them will say, there's nothing happening. I am bored. I am this. And I'm like, if I was your supervisor, I'll dismiss you instantly. Because the reason why you have gone to school is to be able to think outside the box. Thinking outside the box means that you must be innovative. My brother, when people employ you, they're not supposed to be telling you what you should do every single day.
No, I don't even.
You must be innovative.
Yeah,
I'm
please
sorry.
continue. No, I don't. I said I don't even like the fact that you know, when I'm employed every day they have to tell me what to do. I'm employed.
Good.
Trust me to do the work that I came here to do. Leave me alone.
Super.
Yes.
And so you must be innovative. You must think outside the box. You have the understanding of the company's mission, vision. You have an understanding of the company's key performing indicators for a particular quarter, for a particular month. You must be able to dream and think outside the box. Come to the table with your brains. Come to the table with your unique selling proposition. come to the table with your effectiveness, and then your boss will be able to say, I think I can work with you. I think you are productive. I think you are adding value. We need to have value-driven young people. Remember that many of the young people in this country, Ghana, are not value-driven, and that is the truth. If we talk about 1.2 million young people unemployed, though it is a high rocketing number, the question to ask is, if all these 1.2 million young people are employed, will they be able to meet up to the employment criteria? Will they be able to sustain their work?
That is a legit question to ask ourselves, to ask the young ones as well. How the youth really feel in Ghana. We have Fresh Ugly Boy who just commented on a YouTube. He says, "We the youth in Ghana, we are very tired, boss. There is too much anger deep inside. As what do we do with it?" So they're really tired. He's really tired in Ghana. Many has given up, but we have nowhere to go. Some things violent will solve the problem. So this is a deeper cause of the frustration on the part of youth. What would you say to that? This doesn't have to do with competence, like you're saying, that even if we were to have the jobs, will you fulfill the criteria to actually fulfill the job? But they're saying, they've given up. They're desperate. They are angry on the inside. What is your response or advice to such an individual?
So Donny, I've traveled quite a bit, and on the continent of Africa, we have many examples to show that violence is not the way to go to be able to bring development. I was in Liberia, and it will shock you to know that Liberia has become a young country, and young in terms of age. Many of the elderly people in Liberia died in the civil war. They were killed. And so many young people have become foster fathers. They themselves have become early fathers, early mothers, and they have dropped out of school. I'm not sure that we want to go that route as a country. The anger in the young people is good anger. However, that anger must be channeled towards innovative ways of bringing advancement to yourself. Now, when a young man who has been involved in Galamsey for 10 years, has been a local boy, has been paid 30 Ghana cedis every single day at the peril of his life, he's lost 2 brothers and a friend. He's 29 years old, started Galamsey at 19 years old, finished the tertiary university as an animal scientist called Kabalambert. If Kabalambert says that he's not going to do Galamsey again, and he's going to look for employment, and he's employed, it behoves on every other younger person to say, I'm not going to stay where I am. I believe that I can contribute my significant quota to the development of this country. If it is internship, I would look for it. If it is volunteerism, I will look for it. Maybe I need to have a foot in, so that when I have a foot in, I'll be able to bring development and advancement to my country, Ghana. I would say that anger must be channeled profitably. And if it is channeled profitably, you should ask yourself, have you academically improved yourself? My brother, if we don't have anything at all, we should be able to build a capacity. Because as a younger generation, the only thing in the future is not money. We will need capacity. We will need skill. I mean, Donny, the first time we had a conversation, I mentioned to you the number of schools I am attending. It is primarily because I am building my capacity. I'm building my skill.
Right.
And so it behoves on everyone. If you don't have a job, go and build your skill. Because the day you land the job, that skill and that capacity you built will be. Brother who sent the message, I agree with you. I am angry as much as you are, but I am telling my anger in a right way. I am angry as much as you are, but I am telling that way in building my capacity.
Right.
I know food as much as making sure that that anger is solved later in the future because I'm building myself. Let's build ourselves as a younger generation so that when the opportunity presents itself, we will not be lacking. We do not need to be giving leadership responsibility and opportunity where people doing it on behalf.
Right.
It's going to be a challenge in that future.
It is definitely going to be a challenge, and this challenge is on. It's on so many different fronts, so many different level. Another sister, MS.ABA Music, is saying, thinking out of the box is also one of the of the main problems. You said, as youth, you have to be able to think out of the box. But what if through your academic journey, through your education, you didn't even get the chance to adapt this mentality? Because it is a mentality. If you ask me, it's not cheap either, and unless someone pretty much teach you, it's hard to find. But then if you don't have it, then in your words or from your perspective, then pretty much you're the one, or let's say, you are not dealing with your own issues, but some people are just not able to. And our brother Fresh Ugly Boy also said that the government is there to help those who cannot help themselves. So how would you reason around this one? What would you say about this?
What I will say is that thinking out the box, it's not a difficult thing. When you are in the chain, you need to start thinking outside the box. What does thinking outside the box mean? It means that there is a box and you are standing outside the box to be able to think of ways to lead that box. And so people don't want to work. Young people don't want to volunteer. They have monetized everything. Monetization of your volunteerism and internship is what is crippling your thinking outside the box.
Okay.
Don't you have had young people that have come to me who come in saying that they want to intern? And these are people that have masters. And when I look at their masters and I look at their CV, I know that it's a disservice to me to give them an internship opportunity without paying them. And so once they have taken the initiative to come to me and they are stating that, say, we followed your think tank, we think we like what you're doing, we want to intern. And then I ask them, how much will your transportation cost? And then they tell me, and then I'm like, okay, I won't give you an internship opportunity. I will employ you because I want to put demand on you. Because my brother, when people come for internship, they feel that they don't need to have demand. And so I will take you out of the internship mode and say that I think you are capable. I think you are wanting to enter in because you know that you might not be given an opportunity. But the fact that you have come in and you say that you want to intern, and I know that you are capable and you are of value to me, I would employ you. I have had many of those encounters. Many young people come to me, they want to intern. I look at their CV. I know that this is a value I've been looking for.
Right.
I pick that value and I employ you. And so you need to go out there and search. I know people that I have given opportunity to and other persons have given opportunity to, and they have stated that they don't want those opportunities. Why? Because they don't want to work. They are lazy. People are lazy. And so they want to be able to reach the highest pinnacle of success without doing the toil and the work that comes along with it. How is that supposed to happen?
Well,
people cannot eat their cake and have it. If you eat your cake, you must have it. And if you have it, you must eat your cake. So it's important because if people want to match up to the level of thinking outside the box, that is all I do. All I do is to sit down and think about solutions. And Donnie, when I think about solutions, I start writing. And when I start writing, I start getting responses. And I write as much as I can. I send emails as many as I can. I send messages as much as I can. And once I begin to send the messages, the appointments begin to come. And they're like, we think we can have the conversation because you are thinking right. Many leaders have responsibilities they want to offload. If you come around the leader and you are the right person to offload responsibilities to you. And that becomes a path for your own development and your own leadership.
Yeah. Okay. But very key points. I do agree with all of it as you were putting it and actually saying it. It's unfortunate because our time is extremely limited. We actually have to close the show now. We're still receiving some correspondences from let's say on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel, but for me this all points to the fact that there has to be some serious engagement or serious conversation to be held amongst the youth, the leadership, and especially with candidates or with figures like yourself, because what you're saying is so important, so crucial to not only the development of the individual, the youth, as in how can they save themselves, but also to leaders. Because my bit is being a youth myself, and also having understanding where the frustration is coming from, is the fact that but you can't say that I have to save myself, right? You can't tell me that it's all me. If I do this, it's gonna guarantee to that, because that is also where people the Ghanaian youth feel like they've been failed, is the fact that they went to school, they have their degrees, they are certified, but there's still no job, right? So you're speaking to that, or saying this is what you can do as a youth, but also the leaders, the employers, this is also what you can do. So to me it's evident that there has to be some serious dialogues, and here on African Focus on High Radio is where we hope in the future, this coming weeks, we will continue having this dialogue. We'll continue looking into this. As I'm saying, I'm not there, and I can only act as a media where I give the truth, or from both perspective, to the audience, as truthful as I receive it. I know some information is coming in that one of our problem is big English speaking without doing research on what just happened, which is directed towards myself. I am doing the question and I'm not providing the information. So people are very let's say not satisfied with even how the show is run, but I understand where they're coming from. I understand that for them going through it, living the conditions that they are in Ghana, I can't honestly, in all sincerity, I can't even say that I understand it. Why? Because I'm not there. So I'll give them the chance to say what is theirs, as well as doing my best to have a spokesperson who is also in Ghana. I don't think that they understand that. Brother Palgrave is in Ghana with you guys. He is a youth himself, as well as a mentor of the youth. So if anything, he is overqualified to speak on these matters, as well as to give myself the information that I trust that it is closer to objective than it is to subjectivity, which is opinions rather than factual rather than opinions. So this is the core, or this is the aim of this platform. We're not making fun of what's going on there, as you guys think on our YouTube, but we take it very, very, very serious. Brother Palgrave, in closing, so I mean, fix the country. What do you think this campaign is going to lead Ghanaians and the youth, like in general? Is it something good that actually happened, and why is it good? Or is it actually bad that it happened, and why is it bad? Like, what can we take away from this campaign?
Okay, my brother. You know what? The truth is that we do not need a campaign as we have issues in this country.
Mm-hmm.
when people begin to hand over their future to other people, that is where the problem is. We don't need a campaign to say that we have a problem in this country. I think that everybody is aware that there are issues globally, and those issues that there are in globally must have solution. If you take yourself out of the solution, then there is a problem. If there are issues and you take yourself out of the solution, how do we solve the issues? And so the Fix the Country campaign should not have even started, because in the manner in which it started, it means that they have handed over the solution of the country into the hands of other people.
Oh,
I condemn that campaign to the bare minimum, because it is not useful. When you have a problem, you don't need to people to say that other people should fix it. What you need to do is to start bringing solutions. And so if the gutters are dead, you need to start cleaning the gutters. If people are on the streets, you need to start taking those people out of the streets. If people are driving recklessly, you need to start reporting them to the police for them to be arrested. It is our collective responsibility. Brother, there are days I have driven in this country, Ghana. I've seen a taxi driver drop the car that you outside. I have gotten down from my vehicle, the taxi driver, put him out of the vehicle and told to go and pick up the bin. I've done that. I don't need to amass a number of people to say that they need to fix the country. The fixing of the country, it is my responsibility, it is your responsibility. It is not the other person's responsibility. It is like saying that the other neighbor's house is burning, and so I don't care about it. No. The other neighbor's house is burning. You should not stand aloof and say that you don't care. You should rather go and take a bucket of sand and start pouring. You should not suggest to the person you need sand and stand there and cross your legs. That's not what we need.
Oh.
And so the campaign should not have it.
I think we're having some connection.
And once you do that,
the line is kind of breaking.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can perfectly.
Good.
Right. So yeah, just please finish your those were your final thoughts. That one, I'm going through my YouTube and brother Palgrave, people are getting mad. But you know, it gives me let's say a reason, or even the motive to bring you back for another one, because there are a couple of things you shared, or that you've said, and people need you to clarify those things. They say the new hashtag for this week will be think beyond the box. Extremely important. Ghana youth are lazy, and big grammar more they help. Brother Palgrave, I really want to thank you for being here. Unfortunately, due to our technical issues, we started very later than we had planned. However, I like the fact that we were able to embark on this conversation. At least we made a start. But to me, this is an issue that we have to get to the ground of it. Like, why did you say this? Why is this the understanding? What are the youth saying? Because I've heard, let's say, if you can't think outside of the box, right, then it will be interpreted as you are lazy, which to defense of the youth, no, at all. It's not like I'm lazy. I'm willing to work. However, I don't want to work for free. Is that too much to ask? This is an important let's say point to elaborate on. So there are so many things, and I really wish that we can get you back as soon as possible, to pick these issues one by one and actually go to the deepest extent of it. I trust the fact that not only are you youthful within your peers, but you have been a youth yourself, and there is something about you that still, you were, that allowed you to become who you are. And I believe that is what you are trying to teach onto these to the youth, to the audience. However, it's also, and this is from your own experience, you understand that it takes more than, if you say the first time, it might be interpreted or even heard it or taken the wrong way. So it will take amount of repetition, as well as from an perspective of empathy, that hey, I empathize with you and I fully understand your position. That's why I am saying, pick yourself up by your bootstrap. Like, this is you have to do this. Leaning on the government too much, and there you are, being unemployed. But so like taking this point and discussing the entire fix the country, I really wanted to dive into it, get more information. So if you're willing, we will, I will reach out to you coming weeks to see if you can find the time to come back with us to indulge in another conversation. All right. Think we lost. We've been taken off air, I think. I don't know, but I can't hear you, but I know I can see you. And my best regards. Thank you again. Of course, we often talk off air, so I will definitely get in touch. Thank you very much, Brother Palgrave. All right, salute. So, yeah, our dear listeners, that was another, conversation, another episode of Africa on Focus, where we celebrate Africa excellence. You guys, for real, you guys really think that we out here, making light of this situation? Really, it isn't. And we're trying as much as we can to shed light upon it. Matter of fact, if anything, we're actually getting those people who are not only responsible, but also who want to be responsible for the development of Ghana. We are inviting them on the show to give you guys the chance to ask your questions, and also, to give your honest truth, your honest experience, to post it to them and allow them to give feedback on the show. Myself, Donnie, MS.ABA, African Focus, High Radio, we just hope that we serving as an objective, or as a fair medium, where the youth, you, and the leadership, they can have this conversation, because that's all what it is about. It's about having the conversation. If you want more of this conversation, Tune in next week, an African Focus, 7 p.m. Dutch time. That's 5 p.m. in Ghana. And yeah, we're going to have another conversation. Don't know what the topic is going to be about, but if you stay tuned, you definitely get some gems and some information shaping out of it. We've run way over time, so I have to leave you now, and I will close by this song. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite song. Reason with Me, Rude Boy.
Listen to your number one radio. Hi Radio.
Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow.
She told my love that love. She talks out the coco. She want know the coco. Yeah, but I want to give you some love. She talks out the coco. She still want know the coco. Yeah, if money no day, now wait till she get. She tell me say she got run away. She got run many bad away. Yeah. As the rubber don't day, the baby come the mail. See the baby don't come again. You don't forget back in the days. I've been the beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. I be you one make a die. It no easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow.
Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow.
You see this life, no be so. I remember the month of December. No loving, no caring, no tender. You rejected my love cause I was broke. I've been the enter Okada high. From me to Mata straight to another hill. How I wish, say, you believe me. Back then in Bangalada, those days in Junior Puja. You insist, hey, you don't need me. Can I try everything to spend my life with you? Yeah, I've been the beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. I be you one make a die. It no easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow.
Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow.
If money no day, now wait till she get.